Hey everybody, good morning. Gnome here. Early morning video. Server X160, the best in the West. You know it. Guild Arkham Asylum, #1, strongest in all of Guild Conquest. Yeah, and looking forward to rocking this video. I gotta get 3 in a month with the Weaver group to be able to get my benefits. And as a very cheap to play player, I like to get my benefits. Anyhow, let's look into this clan. It's a backtrack clan, so maybe this might not interest as many people because, you know, the Cith Clan has some strengths. It has some weaknesses, kind of like all the clans. Maybe in this video we can find some purpose for the male or the female, or at least kind of check them out in battle to see if you're a player that enjoys the challenge of taking an older character that doesn't have a lot of viability in the current meta and being able to use them in any of your 3 teams. So without further ado, let's kind of look into this. We'll start with the dude. It's like the Sith is kind of like a cat clan here. Awesome pauldron of the cat on his shoulder, which I never really paid attention to till now. He's kind of got like this fur mantle that's going around his shoulders with a little scarf around the neck. He's kind of got some of the cat marks that you might see on Naruto on his face. Great abs. I wish I was rocking something like that. Gauntlets are really cool. He's like got a pole axe or a pole arm instead of a sword. The female, corresponding female, and this one is cool because both sides of it. This one has a little blade on the other side. If anyone knows the name of this, would this be a pike or would this be a halberd? I feel like a halberd is longer than this. This is almost like it's pretty short if you look at it. Maybe just the height of him. I guess not that short, 6 something feet. Got his cute little cat ears. Got some. What's he got? He's got some toys that he plays with around his waist. Is that what that is? Maybe he's got some catnip in his little pouch. Um, let's look at the female real quick. She's really cool. She's kind of got the alfalfa standing up hair in the middle, the ears, the tail. Now she's got her gauntlets and elbow pads here, and then it goes up into her shoulder pads. My favorite part of her is definitely the blade. She's got the all-seeing eye of Sauron in the middle of it. But if anybody played World of Warcraft, this reminds me of the two-handed blade that dropped off of, was it the leader of Blackwing Lair? But yeah, just incredible blade here. That's my favorite part of her. I mean, she cool outfit. Like I said, like the hair, like the cat stripes. Nice little girdle here, or brassiere. Is that what you would call it? Anyhow, the handle, just how the heck does she, such a little chick, wield this big sword? I don't get it, but hey, power to her. I know they're out there. So with that, let's dig in. Let's talk about the passive of the male here. Shadow Devour. Every 9 seconds, automatically steals the soul of a nearby enemy, increasing damage taken by 25% for 5 seconds, while dealing damage equal to 6% of the enemy's max constitution, up to a maximum of 20 times the strength. And convert the damage dealt into a shield for yourself lasting 7 seconds. If Constitution is not full, convert 40% of the current shield value into Constitution every second. Oh, wow. So that's going to be a really fast heal, however you look at it. During Enchanted, all skill damage is converted into true damage. That's really nice. True damage ignores all kinds of stuff, so very handy to have. Some of the biggest names have had true damage. Eldrasil, Female Dire, like a lot of the best champions deal true damage. So that's every 9 seconds. So I wonder if it happens early in the battle too. And is it something that we can easily see? Does it make a link with them maybe? But they take more damage. Uh, damage deals extra damage. That's really cool. So steals the soul of a nearby enemy. I'm guessing his target or maybe it just randomized. And then damage dealt from that's converted to a shield that also gives you a heal, a constitution heal. But that's only every 9 seconds. So the active is Rift Slash. Slash at enemies in front of you in a semicircle area, guaranteeing a hit. So they can't dodge it, they can't block it. Dealing 800% of your strength as damage. So if you hit 3 enemies, that's really good. That's 2400% of your strength. I mean, the issue is these guys are warriors, so strength and con and armor are all kind of equalized on them a bit. Um, but if you focused on warriors, this is a great clan for you. So if the attack hits an enemy unit, so he slashes in front with his active. If he hits anybody, he enters the enchanted state for 8 seconds. During enchanted, your basic attacks and skill damage turn into true damage. So everything he's doing is true damage for 8 seconds, which is really strong. By about that time, he's going to be using his active again and turning back on the enchanted state as long as he hits an enemy. So that's telling me he's going to synergize well with the Voidborn, anybody that pulls champions, Tide Razor female, so that he can make sure to at least hit one guy so he can go into the enchanted state. During this skill's activation, you're immune to control, and each enemy hit during slash regenerates 18% of your missing constitution. Which I guess if you're really low, you're going to be regenning more. So the lower his life gets, the stronger he's going to be able to hold on. So during the skills activation, you're immune to control, which is good against Eldrasil. It's a good against Revenant Nexus, which are all in the current meta. And each enemy hit during the slash. Okay. So if you hit all 5 of the enemy, you're going to be doing 4,000% strength as damage. You're going to enter enchanted state so that all future things are going to deal true damage, and the lower your health is when you hit, you're going to be restoring missing constitution, which is nuts. And that's each enemy hit restores it. So if you hit all 5, that's 90% of your missing constitution. So if he's about gone, he's going to be like right back up. That's pretty cool. I haven't really got a chance to play with this guy. We'll do a couple arena battles, see what he can do. I don't think I have any gear on mine, and he's maybe 12 star. Anyhow, here's his ultimate. Pretty exciting. Meteor Strike. Plummet into the thickest concentration of enemies. So again, if you stack all 5 of them, dealing 600% of your strength as damage and knocks up for 1 second to affected enemies, reducing their damage dealt by 25% for 4 seconds. So kind of quells their damage and knocks them up for a second. I'm assuming they're like stunned during that time. And then it also, if you hit all 5, that's going to be 3,000% of your strength. Not to mention, if you're in the enchanted state, you're doing true damage to these guys. So like, that's a lot. Pretty cool. Um, so there you're doing true damage and you're healing for each person hit, and then your ultimates reducing their damage dealt. Upon landing, immediately perform a guaranteed slash hit in the nearby area, dealing damage equivalent to 12% of the enemy's max con up to 20 times strength. While in enchanted state, each enemy hit during the slash regenerates another 18% of your missing con. During enchanted, all skill damage becomes true damage. Okay, it's just reminding you. So say you hit people with your active, and then he follows it up with the meteor strike. That's a lot of quick damage and healing him up to full, basically. So if you could stun enemies and group them up and stun them in between his active followed by his ultimate, I think this guy would have feasible damage. You're probably going to want to put a... I think you want to get into his ultimate a little bit earlier. It's really strong. So potentially an energy regen, maybe a barrier just to keep him alive. He doesn't have much survivability. Other than his like life steal, but he doesn't have any shields, is what I mean. Sorry. Um, and he's regenerating a whole lot of healing, and he's doing true damage. So you want him to do a lot of damage, and the enemies are being stacked up. So you need a brutal, potentially a barrier or a energy harness if you need him to just get his combo off. Energy harness is going to give you, because people can have their actives interrupted, so you need to make sure that you are either getting your actives off really quick or you're not completely relying on your active. Maybe looking more at your ultimate, because if they interrupt your active, they're probably taking some damage, and that might get you ready for your ultimate. But barrier could be good because this guy is going to need it. You could always do an aggressive to give him more strength, a Fury Flame if you have the Fury Flame leveled up from the Lascivious Death Clan. Excuse me. Uh, delicious. So I really like the male and his cool little pole arm. Let's just call it like a pike. I would call it a halberd, but I think halberds are longer. Halberds allow you to get to like the back line, let you to attack from really far. This one seems a little bit more limiting, more using both ends during your attacks, because this also has a piercing end over here. So it's got piercing and slashing. Um, yeah, what a cool champ. So let's go over to the female here. Oh, and also, these guys are the entertainment district for your districts for getting gold. And then they are warriors. They are the dark insight bloodline aspect. And, you know, the dark purple around the wrist, the hand. So let's look at her a little bit. Each basic attack, sorry, this is her passive, Blood Seal Strike. I really like this. Each basic attack has a 70% chance to change into a powerful strike. So when they say basic attack, they're also talking about normal attacks, like just the non-skill damage, basically. Dealing 350% of your strength as damage and interrupting the target. And remember, she came out, I think, a little bit after Male Water and Sun, so she's interrupting him. That was like a helpful thing there. And this is with each basic attack, and with 70% chance, it's going to happen a lot. So, and that's going to all be based off strength. It's not true damage, but it's going to happen a lot. So you want to raise strength. Definitely a brutal here. Uh, During battle, whenever an enemy champion casts a skill, and that means any skill. I think that's even Guardian skill. So they get a stack of Blood Mark. Let's see what Blood Mark happens. So basically, the eye from her sword, when everybody's trying to use something, they get like marked with this Blood Mark. Which is non-stacking, persistent, but it can be dispelled. So if the enemy has pure heart or the ability to dispel like female revenant, then it can take this off. So keep that in mind. She's kind of weak against female revenant. When hitting a target with blood mark with skills or a heavy strike, which is most likely going to happen, it triggers the mark, making that attack ignore dodge and guarantee a crit. That's really good. There's a lot of dodge in this game, and it saves a lot of people's booties. And it guarantees a crit. So you know what that tells me? Sharp strikes, sure as Avatar, plume dance. You're going to want to just do, as soon as if someone's blood marked and she hits them and it does a guaranteed crit, you want crit damage out the wazoo because she's guaranteed a crit. While the caster restores Constitution equal to 70% of the damage dealt, and the mark disappears after being triggered. That's awesome. Great passive. There's nothing defensive in it, but there is a heal in it from attacking marked targets. So now let's go to the active. Great Sword Frenzy. That is definitely a great sword. After a brief charge, swing your greatsword forcefully to slash twice forward, dealing 400% and 550% of your strength as damage, respectively. So 950% total, and it can potentially hit the whole enemy team. If in an enhanced ultimate state, okay, we haven't heard about that yet. Perform an additional side sweep, dealing true damage equal to 12% of target's max con, up to 20 times the strength. The caster becomes immune to control effects while casting the active skill, which is cool because her swipes back and forth take a while. So if she's immune to control, that means she could potentially avoid some Eldrasil damage. Again, some Revenant Nexus controlling you. While enhanced, each active skill hit interrupts the target, which is nice, and that's 3 of them. Because I'm guessing enhanced comes from the ultimate, right? We'll see. The ultimate is Blade Awakening. Unleash the sealed power within the greatsword, immediately applying a blood mark on all enemies and refreshing your active skill cooldown. Then enter an 8-second enhancement state. Okay, this is what they were talking about. So remember, everything is interrupting now. Like you're interrupting all over the place. And your active skill is refreshed. So, and that has the interrupt in it as well from all 3 of the strikes. During this state, the probability your basic attacks triggering a heavy strike is increased to 100%. So you're just blowing people up, which is everything. Just bam, bam. Heavy strike, doing extra true damage with the active, with a 3rd attack at the end. And blood mark on the target does not disappear. Oh, so you just get a key hitting somebody doing 100% of this heavy strike. And remember, heavy strike does 350% strength, and even with basic attacks. So it could be potential to put an agile on her because each basic attack, yeah, an agile on her is going to do so well. Maybe some agile, some more crit. If you want her to go to whole battle, like in some PvE, you're going to want to have one of your allies have Lunar Mark, which is the Umbra clan ability, I believe. So the enemies take more crit damage because she's going to be just critting all over the place. Because remember, any heavy strike is guaranteed a crit and it ignores dodge. So all you got to do is get that ult going. So everything's a crit. Blood marks are on everybody. They're not coming off. And she's just boom, boom, boom. She just kind of goes Fury style. Blade Awakening. During this enhancement, each trigger of the mark permanently, everybody's marked. She's using her swing and triggering it with her skills. She's triggering it with her auto attacks. Permanently increases her own strength by 2.5% and your crit damage by 5% up to a maximum of 20 times per battle. Wow. Yeah, PvE, you're going to want this because she just keeps hitting the blood mark, keeps getting those charges up. So 20 times 2.5, 10 times that is 25%, 20 is 50%. So her strength will go up to 50%, and the crit damage, this is the best part, will go up to 100% crit damage. Now, you pair that with sharp strikes, which I think is like 60 or 80% crit damage. You partner that with Lunar Mark, another 40%. So that's 120 plus the extra 100 from this. That's 220. And then Ashura's Avatar. So those are pretty much going to be mandatory, I feel. If you want to try to burst people down, you can go Plume Dance. But I really feel that Brutal Shura's avatar. Yeah. Sharp strikes. And you got to have a lunar mark on the team. And then also you could put a fierce. You could put. You're just gonna want crit. Oh, the agile. That's what I would do. So if I was building this champion, and I ended up sacrificing her for a guardian, but I have her back at level 240, so we're gonna play with it a little bit. But agile is a must. Sharp strike, Shura's avatar, a lunar mark on the team, a hulking on the team, a rapid shot just to get her attacking fast at the beginning. You just want to get that ultimate off so she can start building that strength, start building that extra crit damage. What a crazy champion. Okay. So I think she has more potential than him. Um, but I do if the Soul Devourer was a little more frequent, I just feel like 9 seconds is a long time, so you're kind of gonna need to build him for longevity. Hmm. And by the way, he heals a ton, so maybe putting an energetic on him would be good, make him a little more tanky. So perhaps a barrier, brutal, energetic. You could put a group buff trait on him. But I would want him to get to his ultimate and get his active going. So I'd probably do a energy harness as well. And maybe instead of a barrier, I would do steadfast so it reacts to damage being taken. I think I like that a little bit more. And the cooldown is less. It can happen more frequently than barrier, which actives can be interrupted. If your active is interrupted, you don't get your barrier. Or say you're crowd controlled, steadfast will go off no matter what. Oh, excuse me. Coffee morning. All right. So we've kind of gone over their skills, kind of gone over their traits. I really do like their clan trait as well. So let's go down here. I get all these champions for you all, including the Shimo champion. By the way, there's the new female Selfos skin. Really cool. Really beautiful. Let's go ahead and showcase this real quick. Look at this. Look at that. So she's more octopus-like instead of more squid-like, I feel. She's all black. She's got kind of the longer hair tentacle going down the middle of her back. Just complete change. Really cool. And the outfit, let's see what it adds for the bonus here. I forgot. Oh, 2% damage or attack or whatever. That's awesome. So and she can potentially do a ton of damage, especially after she uses her ultimate. Not only does it buff your team, it buffs her. That's significant. Okay, where were we going? We were looking for the Sith trait. I gotta find the male Sith, because, again, the female I have is level 240. What are you, man? Are you down here near the bottom? Yeah, I don't have much Sith going on here. I guess I can level them up at some point. I'd like to be done with the Guardian Stones. I'm down to almost just one type left, and that's, of course, Warriors, and that affects this clan. So, my guy, he just got standard traits, but here's their clan trait, Obliterate. This is also on Queen of Frost. This is also having this clan trait available with a common is nice for Queen of Frost. I gotta say, it's been helpful. So you can get other traits on there. Here it is, Obliterate level 18. After releasing your ultimate, increase the damage you deal by 21.2% for 6 seconds. This effect is not stacked. And what is it at level 22? Like 25% or something like that? I think it is. I forgot. So that's pretty good, But it's after you release your ultimate. And do you remember what his ultimate was going on with that? Oh yeah, he jumps into the sky. He deals a lot of damage, and so that's going to all be amplified by obliterate. It reduces their damage, and then he performs a guaranteed hit, and it does max con damage. And he regenerates a lot of health, and it's true damage. So, geez, Obliterate's really good for this dude. Obliterate's really good for the female, too. And it's good enough that they all... Who else did they put it on? I think it's on Hydron, maybe? Obliterate and energy regen. So, if it's good enough for those champions, then you know it's a good trait. Like, think of Light of Grace, which is the Gen trait. Good trait if they're putting it on Guardians. You got to know it is. So this guy's really good. Of course, he has the Warrior Astrolabe equipped here. So that gives him a little boost. He has no gear. And then did we have a Brutal on? No Brutal, but we do have a Cutthroat. So not only is he getting other forms of healing through his abilities, he's also getting this Cutthroat. So, all right. And then the female, I think she definitely doesn't have anything. But let me kind of fill you in. We went over the traits that I would put on both of them. For her, I would go crit traits and then an agile and a brutal. So she's at least got an energetic for a little more survivability. Okay, she's got some low-level warrior refined gear, and then all her skills are level 6 because that's the maximum I can get her. I didn't really level her up. She does not have an astrolabe equipped. Sorry, madame. So I got Dungeon Descent to a good level, so we can kind of see some of these abilities in action. Alright, here we go. So we'll go ahead and go level 23. But here's the female first. I'll pull her back into the back row. This is going to give her a little boost from Bulko. But that's not what we're really going for here. So she runs up, one auto attack. There's her active. The 2 slashes, destroyed them. There's her ultimate. You could see they have the mark on them. And then she hits them, and they're both crits. Remember, they're crits. And each time she does that, she just got 5% increased strength and 10% crit damage increase by hitting those people with a mark. I think they're going to be way too strong for this, but hey, at least maybe we can see some of their abilities here, right? That's kind of what I want to showcase. She's not going to be able to really get up to the max, so we might have to do some arena and then just get her beefed up and protected and see what she can do, like how she ramps up as the battle goes on. So she comes in, one auto attack, gets the pet. There's the active slash back and forth, runs up, a hit. It looked like a great strike. There's the ultimate on him, and then boom. Oh, she was doing her active right there, because remember the active is refreshed as soon as she uses her ultimate. Really cool. So let's get these in right here. Because we need to see some of the males as well. Okay, we're on level 23. Let's just go up to level 24. We'll get the male in. So you kind of get an idea. You saw her active. You know what her passive is. And you saw her ultimate. And the ultimate's really simple. It just puts the blood mark, and then you get a bunch of bonuses based on that. But you don't really see anything. Alright. The male runs up. Gets... Oh! That was pretty cool. Oh, the jump! Superman in. And here's what's cool, is the animation and the cast of his ultimate and his active are really fast. So it allows him to get more basic attacks in, which is pretty cool. Alright, let's go to level 24 here. But you're kind of getting the idea. Oh, there's already the boss. Alrighty. So, and you can see my team, I just kind of have some support champs in there, but I more wanted to just showcase the abilities here. Oh, I need to set up my other computer to record these videos. I think I might do that this weekend. Alright, so we got done with that. I've already completed this. You've seen the mails. Let's go do a couple other things here. I saved some items so that we could do them as a group. Like some of these little fights here. Get some of them summoning stones to be able to get clans like the Shimo clan. Again, not a big fan of that clan. I don't think it really feels an issue. Hopefully they open it up to people before Guardians, because I can definitely see using it if we didn't have Guardians. But here's the mail. Let's use the mail here. Yeah, his pike's really cool. I like it. So he goes up, uses his active really quick, takes out a couple of them. He just got pulled. Now he jumps straight up and down, knocks everybody up for a second, does extra damage, and the main point though is he heals himself like crazy. Oh, look at this. Look at this little period of auto attack in here. The active finished him. He jumps up into the air. And remember, when he uses his ultimate, he gets obliterate, which is like 20% extra damage or so. He's having a hard time with these guys, but it's cool. It allows you to see his abilities at least. There's the... Wow, this is a strong enemy. I wish we were just on the other side. They're kind of like stacked on each other. And then there's the win right there. Okay, that works. Let's do some more of that. I would take you through the lore, but I don't want to make this video 3 hours long. Alright, so he runs in. Okay, he doesn't even get an auto attack off before he uses an active, which is really encouraging. So he might use his active a little bit earlier in the battle, maybe before the 4-second mark. I like the ult jumping into the densest area. So if you stack enemies up with a Voidborn, it would be really fun to see this guy in there just slashing them up. I like all the red too, the red in all the animations. That it's really nice graphically, I feel. Oh, big panda man. What do y'all think? Do we need Rage Panda back? I like that guy. Alright, so we have a whole nother one we can showcase the female. So let's stick with the male a little bit more. Remember, he's regenning a lot from his active. Whenever he uses his ultimate, he's boosted from being in the enchanted state also. So you could see his life. Oh, we're going down here. This is good. This is really, really good. Oh, this is a good fight here. Look, oh wow, the gold tongue. He's going to lose. Nope, never mind. Come on, you can do it, Cith. Oh, the heal. So you could see from his active there how much he healed up. It was based off his missing. Oh, there it was. There was the active. Here's the ultimate. Look at his heal now. I thought he would have healed more up or up more from that ultimate, but each time he hit, oh, he was immune, so his active was pretty pointless. There's his active again. Here's the ultimate. Jump in. Boom! That was really cool. Good battle. He was really close. These get pretty difficult, honestly. All right, more panda. All right, let's do this again. I think that the gold tongue combo really has him at odds. If you drain his energy, okay, there's his active, and luckily it also heals him. That's the one thing he's got for him. Even okay, there's the active again. Here's the ultimate. He was able to get it off. Jumps right into the back lines. Oh, there he goes. Active coming up. There it is. Boom! Healed up almost to full. yeah, the lower life he gets, the more he heals himself. So that's pretty cool. I like it. He's like a berserker in a way, like a blood rager. Her too. They're both great. All right. Here, I like these fights with the Estorir because I feel we get more out of them here. But there's no Gold Tongue to interfere. There was the active. It brought him down. They both have the ult on, but he hit the back line. You could see all the damage that they took. They had the 1 second knock up. He's regenerating a lot. He's like doing a ton of true damage. When he's in the enhanced state, I think that's his benefit that he has against these tanks is he's got all this true damage here. So he's got the female Estorir using her passive right now. She's trying to, yep, she's about to go down. And that's bad news for her because the male went down before she did. Oh, wait, her passive had already triggered. Oh, he got her down. And then he jumps up, goes in, heals a little bit. Watch this active heal him. Watch, it's going to give him 18% of his missing. Huh? Didn't look like, did he even hit? Anyhow, let's knock this up to ×2 real quick. So if they're the Estorir male and female on the final one, I kind of want to do. I think I might do the male and the female for the final one, just because look at this, we're getting really close to the buzzer here, especially with that immunity. Boom! The ultimate jumps in, slaughters male Estorir. Alright, get those summoning crystals. Thank you very much. Okay, well, we're on 9. I think I'm still going to bring the female in. I think that's fair. She's going to be way down here. She doesn't have many stars. Where is she? There she is. So we'll kind of put the male in the front. He's going to be... Oh, let's have him soak up the female gold tongue arrows so she can come in, get buffed from Bolko here. So here we go. We got the Bjorn Krieger against us. The polar bears. Get them. So the male goes in. Oh, the female gets her active off, but she's already taken a ton of damage. The male barely survived that. His ultimate, if he gets his active off, he'll heal. He didn't get the active off. The female just did the 3-swipe active. She tries to use her ultimate, and she falls. That was awfully embarrassing. So, to give them a little boost, we'll give them a little tank. That's really all they need. A tank without armor, but a tank full of team buffs, ready to help them out. And with that, let's put these two on the bottom and the tank on the top. A female Lionstone's able to use the ultimate. Okay, watch. Ooh, this is getting rough. We're getting chained. The female's about down. She needs to regenerate. Oh, nope. She used Blood Mark and got destroyed for it. Okay, there goes female Lionstone's ult. Let's see what the male can do with this. The jump up. Oh, he didn't finish off the male Gold Tongue. The male Gold Tongue's back here just rocking him. There's the female Lionstone. The ult. Boom. Finish him. That was good. The female just, again, doesn't have very good defensive capabilities, so be warned if you are using her in PvP. The crits are great. The crits are going to do a ton of damage in PvP and PvE, but she just doesn't have much survivability. So it may be instead of one of the crit damage traits, you throw a barrier on there. Ooh, excuse me. Allergy season. Alright, so let's get back into the battle. They've already got it under control. The gold tongue's in the back. The male jumps in. The female just kind of, she doesn't really have much mobility. She just kind of plows through the front line. So keep that in mind if you're using her or if you're stacking up enemies. I think that both of these champs go well with being stacked. Ooh, the male's getting kind of... Wow, that male gold tongue just, once he gets ignored, he sits in the back row and just flex you off the whole time. Alright, so that was pretty fun. I think maybe we can do the return to the underworld, but let's do a couple arena battles first, just so we can make sure we get them in. Alright. So what we really need is to go against Muff. You're my experimental here. Let's bring in the new team. It's organized by stars. And he's a 2-star. There he is. 2-star general. And then she is way down here. She's my lowest ascended there is. Put them both in the back row so that he'll absorb some of their damage. Or maybe just put her in the back row and put him up here. Maybe since he's level 480, he has enough. Let's try it out. I think I have enough tickets here. Yeah, I got a few left. Alright. Problem is okay, everyone's shielded. Okay, the male just got to use, or was that the female? It's hard, they look really close. Alright, I see the halberd, or the pike, I see the blade. So, dang, Muff just completely controlling this battle. If it wasn't for my Void Guardian being a hoss, like, oh, there's the ult. Going in on female Nereid, knocked her up. Oh, finished her in the air. What a final slugger there. Just sent her to the outfield. Okay, so let's find another good person to experiment on here. So we're kind of looking for people like Cluedo. I'll leave Nixia alone unless they force me. Sorry, I was popping my back. Oh, it felt so good. There's Cluedo. Alright, Cluedo. Are you ready for this? He's got an Eldrasil. He's got a lot of the... So one nice thing is we can like get some guaranteed hits, some guaranteed crits, some healing. There is some immune to control when she uses her active. Okay, it looks like they're trying to take down Ascavarge, but he got shielded. Their Queen of Frost really laying into the group. Oop, I'm gonna have to refresh. Sorry about that. Got completely interrupted there. I'm at my shop trying to record during the day, so I sometimes get interrupted. Let's continue, shall we? I have one ticket left. I would say let's give Vruma a shot, but he's way too strong. Just crowd controls my Void Guardian and then destroys him, so... Alright, let's go Crazy Cat. She's really improved a whole lot. I might have to improve the protection of the group a little bit here. So let's do this. That puts us a little closer in range. Let's give it a shot. So the female Nordalsar is just going to add some defensive capabilities. Alright, Rush is in there. Queen of Frost in the back line, giving a hard time to the female Nordalsar, which is nice, because it frees up the rest of the group to kind of fight. Everyone's about to be blood marked right now. So let's see if the female Cith can build up. Ooh, Eldrasil, Guardian ability going off now. Look at my Void Guardian. He's having a really hard time staying alive, but luckily he's getting extra shields from the female Nordals. Okay, someone's low here. It looks like the male Ascavarge. He's got his ultimate going. Queen of Frost is still just destroying my Void Guardian. Oh, Void Guardian's down. This could be bad. We all have some shield left over. Let's see if it helps at all. So, and the Eldrassil's just in the background, just full force, all damage. And I don't think we're going to be able to survive this onslaught and the CC. Look at this. We can't keep taking this punishment. Is female Nordalsar really this strong to be able to keep the whole team up with shields here? Bam! Oh, no. Female Sith down. Oh, whoa, the Eldersill's down, though. That might give us a little advantage here. 51 seconds left. The male is still in this. They're getting frozen a lot, but there's the ult. He finally jumps up into the air, uses the ult. Whoa! How did she just take so much damage? I think that was female Nordalsar's active followed by her ultimate. Wow. That was powerful. And we are out of arena tickets. So, let's go to the next. And this has been a long recording. By the way, I love this right here. That's a cool picture that I have on this of female Sith. Really nice looking, really cool. Alright, so we tried those. Is there any? I don't have any of my raid bosses up. That would have been a perfect spot to give them a shot. We did some dungeon descent. We did some arena. Should we talk a little bit more about like group synergy with them? That'd be okay. So of course, Void Guardian goes well with everybody, and if you have female Sith for pure damage, or you have the male Sith as a hybrid, if you have Void Guardian, he can protect either or and just lend support. Because they're both pretty squishy, so they're gonna need some help. You can pair them up with any of the damage dealers like Queen of Frost, Eldrassil, any of the control. They're going to do well. You want the female's ultimate to go off quick, so the female Revenant could potentially, if you put energy regen on the female Sith, plus the active from Revenant Nexus, could be really good to get her ultimate off quickly. You could definitely pair either of them up with Farouk to give them extra strength and shields. They're both very strength dependent and both very needy of having some help there. Maybe Zeiston would be helpful to tank with them. Female Nordalsar, as we saw, was invaluable as they were fighting. Maybe more female Nordalsar with the female Sith, because the male Sith jumps to the back line. The female Sith will be closer to the female Nordalsar, so if she ends up using her active on her, then that'll also help female Nordalsar. So I'd probably go more the female Nord with female Sith. Again, female Tide Raiser is going to group people up. The male Ganesh kind of brings people in his whirlwind. He could be really good with both of these champions. And since they're both warriors, pairing them up with a tank might be really helpful. We talked about the Void Guardian earlier. Um, Female Galabar could team up well with them just to control and give them healing, because that's all they need is just like some healing, some survivability. Shields, male Lionstone. We just mentioned Farouk is really good. Male Akuna could like heal them, stun enemies, kind of provide some crowd control. Female Ganesh with a ton of energy regen. Female Luna or Umbra is going to add the lunar mark, and that's really, we talked about that, add more crit for the female, so that could be really helpful. Maybe with the new clan, the female Shimo could have some potential, just kind of hitting a bunch of enemies and doing a lot of direct damage to kind of complement. No survivability there. Female Panda would be able to soak up some damage that these warriors are taking. Pairing them with a male Jin could be. I can't wait to do a video on the Jin clan because I think that male Jin has some late game potential if you give him a little bit of love. And you can see, I think I just about have enough to level him up here. You just need 16 of them. So I think I can go ahead and pop him into 15 stars, add more to my Guardian Stones. That's a good call. I think I'll do that here pretty soon. Maybe I was needing more warriors or something. I don't know why I didn't finish. But that's a lot of the red stones, which is, let's look at this. So, have all the tank filled in, all the guardian filled in. We're missing some, oh, we need a little bit more con on our mages. So we need to finish, and maybe by getting that level 15 Jin and then maybe leveling up somebody else a little bit more, I could get that 9 out of 10 here, getting closer to that. And then if you see the Bloodcraft actually is only 6 out of 10 for that. And then these are all 6 out of 10 on the Fortitude. And I'm at 362, which adds, remember, the more of these you get too, this is kind of a big deal. Look where it ends. 490. Like if you have this whole thing filled up, is that what you get to? 490? Like I can't even imagine that. What is this? I need 4, 4, 4, 4. So that's 16. Like I don't think, and with the warrior and everything, 16, 20, 22. Does all that really equal like up to 490? Okay. 7, 22 plus 7, 29 plus 5, 34 plus 4, 38. Yeah, plus 6 is 40. I don't think that there's enough Guardian Stones to even get to that last level. Huh, that's weird. Maybe they're just prepping it for later when they have introduced something other than Guardians, maybe. Whatever's going to be the next, biggest thing kind of deal, which I'll bring to you. So what do y'all think of the Sith? Do any of you use the Sith? I would think, again, the female could be fantastic for PvE. And if that's the case, again, going to Agile, Shura's Avatar, and Sharp Strikes. You're not going to fail with that. She's just going to be crit, 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 and crit, and crit. And then she adds a ton of extra crit damage. So, yeah, that's really insane. Maybe pair her up with a male Kojiki, and he would give her attack speed if she's in the P5 position. And then you can, instead of agile, maybe add a fierce, so you're doing even more damage. And you covered that like attack speed another way. Combine her with female lion stone, so you've got a ton more strength as well. She could be very formidable. And remember, she gets up to plus 50% strength just from her ultimate as it goes over time. So really strong. Consider that for PvE. We don't really have a raid boss, and I'm not going to waste rings on trading them up, but maybe in the future I'll do it whenever I get bored, and we'll do a revisit on this clan. I'm not sure. That could be a potential, though. The male also, I want to really emphasize that he jumps into the most dense area of enemies. So if you use a male Ascavarge to group people up, and then the male, say you have a female or Revenant Nexus in there, it removes the male's Bulko on him, the male Sith, and then he has energy regen, so he gets a little bit more energy. He jumps, uses his ultimate, and remember, this is after he becomes enchanted from his active. And then whenever he jumps in with his ultimate, he's got Obliterate going on. That could be a really awesome combination. Think of this. Revenant Nexus, male Ascavarge, the male Sith, Voidborn to kind of group all the enemies up after you've got them under control. Let's look at this roster real quick. There we go. Let's get down further. Woo! Can't give away all my secrets. I was kind of testing some. This is where I do my testing down here. So let's talk about this again. Revenant Nexus. We got a male Ascavarge. Let's just put him right here in the middle. We got a Voidborn. Maybe the back right just to kind of stay out. And then whenever he uses his Guardian, he goes to the middle. And that'll allow the Revenant to kind of protect him a little bit more with her heal. Let's go down. Let's get the male involved here. So he wants to go up to the front line. He's going to take active skill damage, and he's going to regen a lot. So maybe having him in the P1 could be beneficial. And then we're probably going to want another Guardian to get that 3 Guardian bonus. So here's the question. Whenever anyone's incapacitated, these 2 Guardians get more resolve for their Guardian ability. So we're going to want somebody that CCs. Maybe it's someone that fears. Okay, that kind of levels us down. Let's try the Count. Let's think about the Count here. The Count's got ability to be defensive. He's going to be in front of the Voidborn, so it's going to kind of be protecting the Voidborn a little bit. And he's got the ability to add fear and incapacitate people, and he can assassinate when they get lower. Here's a backline fighter or a person that jumps right into the crowd. Everybody does AoE. This is a pretty cool group right here, if you ask me. Like, say you're building with the male here. That's maybe the route that I would go. Now, say you're doing PvE with the female. Let's play with this. So she does a ton of crit, and you need strength with her, so you're going to need a female Lion's Stone. Let's go down to my female Lion's Stone that's for PvE. Right here. Boom. Got her in there. And then we're using the female, so she's way down here. Remember, she's like one of my least ascended champions. Oy. Ooh, even lower than this. There she is. So we got her in here. This is and then we want a lunar mark. If we don't have that on one of our other champions. So the only good thing about her ultimate is she keeps the blood mark on, which is good, I guess. So let's play with this a little bit here. So I'm going to go with, where's that old female Ganesh? She's got to be above a lot of these jokesters. There she is. And then maybe a female Umbra, so female Ganesh. Female Sith heals herself, right? So that's helpful. And then we have a strength boost. And, she's going to be critting with every attack, doing a ton of crit damage extra. So, like, let's just imagine something like this. Extra boost from Farouk. Farouk's ultimate causes the enemies to take more damage. So this Sith Queen is just, like, destroying her ult going off constantly from female Ganesh. Yeah, I think that's really powerful. That's probably what I would do for some PvE if I was using her and she was leveled up and ascended up and looking good. I wanted to do one more thing. I wanted to revisit their abilities just one last time. And the reason why I want to do this is if there's anything we overlooked or kind of missed, especially as we were having them fight out there. Okay, there they are. Let's look at the females first. So this one, remember, as long as her ult's rolling, they're all this powerful strike, all of her basic attacks. And so she's always doing extra 350 with each attack. It interrupts. When it always keeps refreshing. It doesn't go away when she triggers it. Uh, it so they can't dodge it, and it's always a crit hit. So every one of her normal attacks are a crit hit that are doing this 350% strength damage. And if you have all the traits that we talked about, it's going nuts. And the caster restores Constitution. Okay, so she doesn't need any help. She's going to heal herself up. She could be potentially really awesome in the Luxus trials. And the mark disappears, but with her ultimate, it doesn't. Now, when her ultimate's going, um, every time she uses her ultimate, it refreshes her active. So if she's refreshing her ultimate a lot, then she's doing this 950 with a true damage based off her strength, and she's immune to control, and the hits interrupt the target. So that's going off almost constantly if her ult is going off. All her hits are all her basic attacks are heavy marks. Heavy strikes. We talked about that. And then each one triggers her. So she's gonna have 50% strength really quickly when she's fighting a PvE boss, and crit damage by 100%, really quick, based off of that ultimate there. Wow. And that's only during the enhancement, 8-second enhancement state, but it permanently increases it. So, oh, this is nuts. Wow. Wow. Our active is really good. And remember, she's got Obliterate, so she's doing more damage each time she uses her ultimate. And I think Obliterate lasts for like 4 or 5 seconds. So yeah, she is the PvE way to go. He is going to be a good diver for a PvP team. He makes people take more damage. They also take max con damage. He reduces the damage that they deal. He heals a whole bunch, so he can kind of be like a second tank or a bruiser. Knocks enemies up, so he's got some CC. Does honestly a ton of damage if you have the enemy all grouped up. So that group we did with him, I think, would be fantastic. Guaranteeing hits, so you don't really need to focus on crits for him, or you could because he's got a lot of true damage. He's got all this true damage. So yeah, fantastic champions. I've kind of changed my mind. I have a bit more of appreciation. I might level her up again to see how she does in PvE, because I think she could just be a nonstop crit machine with her between her active always critting, her basic attacks always critting. Like, wow, she is pretty nuts with all that. Um, Definitely can see her for an Abyss group, one of the 3 Abyss groups. The male, again, more of a diver. If you group up the enemy, he could be really good. So if you have any your Warrior Guardian stones maxed, if you focus on warriors, could you please in the comments kind of let me know? Did you play around with the Sith? Did you like them? A lot of warriors have extreme utility and like situational. Like genius. For instance, female Almat, like if you're going against in the Luxus trials, the guy that makes it where you can't use your ultimate, well then she's constantly higher energy, so she's attacking super fast. She's doing like 16% of the max con each hit, limited by her strength. I don't recall what the strength was, but you boost her strength like with a female lionstone, she is going bonkers. But again, she's a warrior. So does anyone focus on warriors? Please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know about that. And so yeah, I think we went over traits, we went over team synergies that I think I would go with. There's a lot of other options. You can have fun with them. You could build them very defensive. You could do barrier and steadfast, energetic and brutal on the male. On the female, since she already has the crit and the extra strength, maybe making her more defensive might be beneficial. So like a brutal, steadfast, sure as avatar, and agile. That could be a nice potential. I think she could work well with that. But she definitely, I think, an agile is going to do well with her. Um, Either way, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I made it to an hour. I'm sorry. But I really wanted to give the clan the attention and the detail that it deserves. So if you like to level up old clans or you're on a newer server, please let me know if you insert one of these champions into your lineup. I think it'd be really cool. But with that, thank you so much for your time and watching the video to the end. And thank you for your patronage. Catch you later. Peace.